Ocupe from Free Speech Northwest. We're going to let him take over. I'm just going to hand you the mic. You don't need to stand.
Hey, how you doing? All right, good. You know what? I want to tell you, I want to start off by saying I hate all minorities and marginalized groups. And I'd like to thank Ray McMillan for giving me this platform. Thank you, Ray, for giving me this platform.
Oh, no, I can't believe that.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's actually not true. I'm indifferent about all of those words for the most part, which is a good thing. You know what I mean? If you're obsessed with all of that, there's got to be some bigotry in there somewhere, I think, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, eternal core values across party lines, right? That's what I'm going to talk about. So, years ago, long ago, far away, I was what I consider now to be potentially radically left-leaning or something like that. I mean, that's what I consider now. I was that. I'm that. You know, this is years ago. That's where we are. I've transported us right now. And what I thought myself was like, we should get rid of all handguns. They're only for killing human beings. So we should get rid of them. Thank you, heckler.
Yeah.
Should get rid of all handguns. They're for murdering people. And babies. Gross. Not in this world. We don't need any more babies. That's what I felt. Please don't. Thank you. Now remember, this is me a long time ago. Anyway, so like I'm not gonna bring babies into this world. That's terrible. And they're gross. What else? Global warming. I don't like that. It's bad. And I morally feel we need to do a lot about that. Because it's global warming. So I hate the gender pay gap, and because women and men logically should get paid the same thing, and it shouldn't be 70 cents to every dollar, right?
That's already illegal.
Is it?
Yes.
All right.
Darn it. So.
Let me keep going, hecklers. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, let me finish, dummy. All right. So let me see. Oh, right. There's over-incarceration for people of certain races. There's all kinds of prejudice towards hiring practices and house loans. Yeah. So I hate all those things. Let me see. Something about other countries. Probably that we need to fix them and help them. Right? So... and I'm an obsessive kind of dude. I get obsessed. I'm obsessive. At the time, I was obsessed with comic books, cartoons. So I had like this vague view of all those things. I wasn't really committed to anything political or anything. I'm like, I just want to watch my cartoons because news is boring and it's for old people. And I'm talking about, this is like 5 or 6 years ago. I'm like... I don't understand or care about the news. Republicans are bigots, and they're for the rich, and I'm a Democrat, and that's all I know, so just vote D, right? So then I saw Bernie Sanders up there, and I'm like, yeah, it's about time. Finally, a way for me to give everybody my money. Yes, because they're poor, and they need it. And I don't need my money that I worked for. Yes, it's about time. I feel good. I feel good about this dispersal of tax dollars because I'm probably not really listening to the details. Bernie, he's Doc from Back to the Future, and Doc's a nice person. He's a good guy. He's trying to do good. And Bernie is Doc from Back to the Future. So, where am I? Right, so Bernie, and then Hillary, because I'm an advocate for women's rights and everything, and I'm like, Bill Clinton, he had sexual intercourse with Monica Lewinsky, and he used a cigar, and his wife stuck with him, and I don't feel that's empowering or empowerment. I don't feel like it is. I don't feel like that's advocating for victims. And so I'm not with Hillary, I'm with Bernie, for sure. And then Hillary cheated in the, in the primary. She got these words from Donna Brazile, and she's just a gangster. Her and Bill are gangsters, and they cheated. And so I'm like, well, I don't like that. And then Bernie's like, I'm for Hillary now. I back her. And I'm like, I'm confused now. He said she was crooked. Bernie said she was bad. Now he's supporting her. So I'm confused. I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore, right? So my wife's like, wait a minute. That Donald Trump man, you need to listen to one of his speeches. Don't listen to the CNN thing, the soundbite. Listen to the speech. So I said, that's crazy. But I did it. And I listened to his speech and I'm like, wait a minute. That's not as bigoted as I thought it would be. He included all of us. He included me and you. Because we're Americans. And we're citizens. And that feels good. I like America. I'm happy about it. I'm supportive about it. So I listened to this Donald Trump man, and I went down this weird rabbit hole of listening to these conservative speakers, and they started using this. Well, I hadn't really cared about politics besides the guy from Back to the Future, Bernie Sanders, this mad scientist. Yeah, I like him. And he talks about the 3% of the 1% have 90% of the percent. All percentages. They all have all the percentages. It's the 1% that's got all the percents. So I'm like, that's science. And anyway. But I started listening to all these people and they're like, guns aren't just for killing people. In fact, you don't have to kill a man with a gun. You can have it and go, I have a gun, don't pick on me. You can have a gun and you can use it to see it, like for that reason. You can go, look, here's my gun. Don't be mean to me. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's called a deterrent. You can use it as a deterrent. Or, here's the thing that I didn't know, is if a bad guy, a villain, like a supervillain with guns, like if the Punisher went bad, you could use your gun to shoot at him and his guns, if you have a gun. You can't do it if you don't have a gun. And then there's this other rationality that I thought about with guns, because there are these people who are like, citizens don't need guns. That's weird and twisted. Why do citizens need guns? Police are the only people that need guns. And then I was like, why do police need guns? If citizens don't need guns, why do police? And I thought about whatever the reason is, because I can't figure it out why police need guns. Whatever the reason is that they need guns, what if that came after me and it took a police officer 20 to 40 minutes to get there? Like the reason they need guns, I'm not going to identify it, I don't know what it is. But wherever they need guns, if it came after me, if I had a gun, I'd be as armed as the policeman. And I'd be able to shoot my gun at the thingy that was coming after me. These are the rationalities that I got off of this conservative rabbit hole with Crowder and Ben Shapiro, and I don't know if you've ever heard of those people. But let me see, there was one about how I was listening, I was like pro-abortion. I wasn't like pro-choice, I was pro-abortion. I'm like, abortion, yeah. But then I thought about it and I thought, babies are cute. They smell good. And they're literally really cute, if you've ever seen a baby. Half of the people here used to be one at one point. So if you were aborted, which we could abort you right now. We could, but I'm not going to do it. But I'm just saying, you could be aborted still. Do you want to be aborted? No? I don't know. Anyway, and everyone in here is a clump of cells with thoughts. You're all clumps of cells with different thoughts and imaginations. And I think that's beautiful. I like clumps of cells. So So, anyway, that's my view on babies. And then I hear, the stuff about how you just want to put your hand in my uterus. That's what you're trying to control. You're trying to dictate my uterus. And I'm like, just have the baby and do whatever you want with your uterus. You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing for me. I don't know. I'm just voicing my own little crap because I have a microphone. So, when it comes to the babies and everything, when it comes to me controlling women and their uteruses, I do want to control every woman and their uterus. But I'm not talking about all Republicans. I just have this weird obsession over controlling women and uteruses. But for most Republicans, I think they don't mind if you have the baby and then it's like less horrifying to them if you die afterwards than if you die before. You know what I mean? Like no one wants you to kill yourself if you're a lady or a man. No one wants anyone to kill themselves, but I think we'll fight a little less about you not killing yourself after you have the baby than before. And so that's how you know that we're not that obsessed with your life, I don't really care about your life. Sorry. I don't care about women's lives to some huge extent. I don't want anyone to die, I guess, like literally like anyone to die or suicide or any of that crap. In fact, if you want to kill yourself, call me. There are phone numbers I can give you and I'll listen. I will listen. Anyway, let me see, where are we at? Racism, that's not good. Globalism, they're trying to get us. Gay rights, sure, why not? Just don't try to make you a damn birthday cake. Right? Because it's obligated labor, and I'm going to tell you something, I don't think obligated labor is good for anyone. Because we had lots of obligated labor a long time ago. That wasn't nice. So I don't think we should make anyone make anything for anybody. Like if you're a Jew and a Nazi walks in and they're like, make me a bagel, I don't think anyone should, What?
That was the most racist, non-racist example I've ever heard.
Exactly. So, my point is, right now, I went from this far left person and then now I'm this far right person. And at the same time, I have these core values of that, at that time, I want people to live. I want equality of wages amongst men and women for your output of what you're doing. Your results, your output. I want equality of wages in that area. I used to think that there was this inequality and I don't believe it's there anymore, which is why I get called a bigot and a white supremacist and all of that. I think people go to prison for the most part because they make poor choices, not because of the color of their skin. And that's why I'm a bigot. And I don't think, I don't want anyone to go to prison for the color of their skin or anything like that, or for their belief systems or anything like that. I don't want that to happen. I didn't then, and I don't want it now. The difference is I thought it did then, and I don't think it does as much now. I don't believe it as much anymore. I don't believe in the wage gap as much anymore. I don't want unfair wage practices to exist. That's basically the point of this talk. It's that my core values have crossed over from the left to the right, and they're the same. The difference is the nuance to it, the details in between the left and the right. I thought certain things in addition to those core values at this point, and I think differently and still have those core values now. So if that's bigoted, okay, whatever. Bigoted is where you don't allow people to have their beliefs and express their beliefs. Then you're a bigot. Well, I'm not trying to stop anyone from believing anything, but I'm still called a bigot today. So, anyway, that's it!